7 group stages. We are going to be continuing with group number A, witnessing the series between BOOM Esports and Royal Never Give Up. RNG are currently 1 game up in one of the most exhilarating comebacks of the day, which, trust me, is saying something, because we've seen a lot of those happening on this inaugural day of group stage action. But now that they are in the pole position, now that they are leading the series, Fluke, I present to you the question of whether or not they can keep it that way, go 2-0, and unfortunately, because EG is there right now, they can't go to the top of the group, but nominally will have a very successful opening day of competition.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they can. They can improve to us in that last game that they have a very good grasp about how they want to play these fights, about how they want to move things around and how they want to get things going in these games. So I definitely feel like that RNG can make this a 2-0, but you know, to be fair to BOOM as well, I think the one kind of criticism I have is just, you know, being able to close the game out at the right time, being kind of baited into some of these fights. They got one of those lanes of racks towards the bottom side and then just got baited into this awkward fight, and then the game kind of slipped out from there. It felt like it was kind of a snowball effect for them where they were ahead for a lot of it. It felt like Jackie was completely untouchable. It didn't feel like there was anything they were able to do on RNG. And then there was just that one big team fight where him and FBZ just got caught out by X-Nova, and it was kind of everything kind of got blown apart from there. So I think BOOM are definitely in a good spot to be able to come out on top here. They've proven to us today that they can get some wins, albeit up against Hokori. But, I mean, if they change a few things in the draft, then maybe they're able to get it done. I feel like their draft in game number 1 was good, but it obviously just wasn't enough to be able to take down RNG.
Yeah, I think it's exactly that you mentioned, right? Pretty much all the comebacks that we have seen today have been under similar circumstances. A team that's very far ahead, able to get an early lane of racks, an early tier 3 or something like that, but just unable to close it out, unable to go for the jugular. And then once that happens, the other team probably has 1 or 2 heroes that scale better than yours, and then as the game goes on and on and on, starts to feel just very complicated to play. So for BOOM Esports, I do hope that in this upcoming game that they have additional win conditions, not just the Leshrack for your Paj. It did also feel like as much, there was some point in time where Jackie felt uber strong in the game as the Paj, but I don't know, just something felt off in terms of how BOOM Esports themselves were playing the hero. Like the balance between the Pudge safe lane and the Leshrack mid didn't always feel like it was in sync with each other as the game went on. But they have a chance for redemption, a chance to change the narrative about their day of action here today as we get into the second game, the final one of the day here on Stream D. One of the last games of the day of the group stages in general. BOOM versus RNG, draft number 2. Who's getting banned first? Are we going to see any heroes from game number 1 taken out, or is it still just going to be the similar pattern we saw emerging earlier on? Ban Shadow Fiend, ban out the Smarcy, and then take out the Broodmother, etc.
I probably want to see an Enigma ban. Seeing into this second game here, BOOM have first pick, so they're going to have the precedence in this about what RNG are going to let them have as well. So wouldn't hate to see if we see probably just a Primal Beast ban coming out here from RNG. Then I imagine BOOM is probably going to be the one that bans the Marcy. They're more than happy to be able to play a bit of Broodmother themselves, be able to play some of these heroes like the Enigma. So I think for BOOM, you kind of just, I'd imagine you just maybe ban the Marcy right now and leave it up to RNG to determine between the Enigma and the Undying for an opener for you here for BOOM.
They're really thinking about this on the side of BOOM. They have the first pick. I think the conversation is with FBZ. They're like, yo, G, are you going to play Enigma or not? He's like, nah, okay, ban Enigma. They can't give up that hero again. It just looked way too good. And not even just looked way too good. The fact that it didn't even have to use the signature spell for a large portion of the game. And even when he did use them, whatever. Like he missed the black hole inside the enemy base and it didn't even matter. They won the fight anyway. So once you're at that point, it does feel like the hero just cannot see play. Must be removed. Shambolic for my predictions, but what can we do? So now the question is going to be for RNG. Which hero are they prepared to give up? Are they going to give up Marcy? Do we give up Marcy? Do we give up Tusk? Do we give up Morphling? Do we give up Undying? What is the option here for RNG side?
So it looks like Ohio just coming in as the fresh coach there for BOOM, really just hyping up the boys. I like to see that coming in from Ohio, just kind of giving these guys a little bit of that pep talk. He came in, giving them a whole lot of energy. You know, obviously a lot of these guys are pretty young, and being able to give them a lot of the energy and really move in towards some of these games, they can start to pull things back. So it is just the Dirge that gets banned out here from RNG. So same bans coming in from RNG. The only change this time around has been the Enigma got banned from Boom, and now the Marcy is open. Surely Boom, you pick up the Marcy. We've seen it do a whole lot of work today. The only issue that we saw earlier on was when TSM picked it for Bryle, but I don't think she's one of those kind of mid-heroes. So they're just going to pick up the Marcy here. Tim's has been able to play it extremely well. Obviously, FBZ can play it as well here in the offlane, but it's mainly just been a position for throughout the entirety of today. But what is going to be the response here from RNG? I'm just going to have a quick look back at their series. Yeah, they went Lich and Earthshaker against BetBoom when they opened up with Marcy Batrider. So I'd imagine this is probably going to be Lich Morphling is probably going to be their opener here for RNG. Both really strong heroes. We've seen what Lich has been able to do with a lot of that solo killing potential. Up against Liquid as well, they never gave Marcy to Liquid, so we don't have any more information about that. But yes, it seems like Lich has been the response throughout the entirety of today, so I'd imagine this is going to be Tiny plus Lich.
That feels weird. Tiny
Lich.
Lich.
I mean, feel kind of weird.
We saw Primal Beast Lich earlier. And the Primal Beast sort of took the place of where Tiny would be. I imagine in that game, Tiny was probably banned. As an opener, Tiny Lich does feel weird. So they could hold onto the Lich for a little bit later into the draft. I wouldn't mind seeing Tiny Morphling though.
There it is.
Nope, it is Tiny Lich. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Tiny Lich, let's go.
They are opening this up to themselves getting Morphlinged here. Morphling into Tiny. It's not really the best core-to-core matchup. Even the position 4, Tiny can really kind of catch you out as the Morphling, but we've been able to see what Morphlings have been able to do throughout the entirety of today. Doesn't really have all too many issues with the Lich, but if Lich is able to catch him out early on, you would probably have to see like an early Lincoln Sphere build if we do see the Morphling that comes out here from Boom. Jackie has been one of those players that has definitely been able to stand out on the Morphling as well. They're just going to go for the Chen here, so the Skemblue Classic. I like this. It's able to soak up a lot of the Chain Frost hits as well. Yes, the Frost Shield does a lot of work to try and defend these towers, and the Tiny can do a pretty good job of being able to clear up and stunt up a lot of these creep pushes that can come in from Boom here. But yeah, I like both of these openers. Both these two teams probably getting their 4s and 5s here. It's not really what we see from been seeing a whole lot today, where you get, if your first pick, you get that carry as the 8th pick, and then you're able to cover it with 3 bans. Whereas now it's just going to be double supports from both these teams, so I'd imagine it's going to be a whole lot of these cores are getting banned. Morphling's probably going to be on the chopping block. Another hero that really deals with the Chen, just something with a little bit of extra cleave. And maybe something along the lines of, we've seen a bit of Sven that's come out today. It was from the South American teams that we saw the position 1 Sven. We saw a lot of support Sven, so I'm sure these extra heroes
Don't you find that kind of interesting right now that both squads have opened up with their 2 support picks? I mean, unless Boom are going to be flexing this Marcy into the offlane, it's already peculiar enough when one team does it these days. Extremely rare for both squads to go in that direction. So kind of intriguing for me. Not exactly sure what to make of this, but I suppose RNG are better off in this kind of circumstance, given that they have the last overall pick of the draft, and there'll be less opportunity for Boom Esports to have uber flexible heroes deeper into the pool. But a lot can still happen. We see them banning out those Batrider to make sure they don't have that insta-clear that you were mentioning onto the Chen army. You need that available, and just Batrider. Stupid hero. I would hate to be jumped on with like a Frost Shield going, and it's like, oh great, this is fun and very exciting. I can't move away, I can't turn, I just burn inside the ice. It shouldn't make sense. Maybe, you know, Frost Shield should stop the Firefly, but whatever, what can we do?
That's the next iteration of Dota now, is where we have the elements. I remember when Panda had Cinderbrew, that was technically a thing that was part of his kit, was the fire damage, where he was able to amp up things like Firefly and Dual Breath and all that kind of stuff. But I think that is definitely an interaction that Valve do not want to try and touch and deal with, because there's been so many different weird interactions that we've seen throughout the entirety of Dota. If you just add more complexity of these elements floating around, it's gonna be pretty hard. I like this Terrorblade ban, by the way, coming in from RNG. They want to try and pick a Jackie hero that is kind of the buff carry for them. Yopaj tends to try and play these more kind of space creating heroes and more kind of these heroes that enable Jackie. And what he's been playing so far has been a lot of these illusion carries. So RNG understand that this ball is going to be coming towards their face, and they don't want to be a bar of it. I wouldn't hate to see a Pangolier ban coming in here from Boom either. Just another one of those heroes that deals with the ball. They're just going to get rid of the Morphling as well, though, because they don't want to have to play the Morphling chicken with RNG.
Dude, if they don't ban that Morphling, it's definitely getting picked second phase.
Oh, yeah.
I would even see RNG like banning AA right now and then quickly coming back in for the pick onto the Morphling. So I certainly understand why you would want to dodge that right now and not have that be a thing to deal with. At the same time, now RNG, I think they actually probably wanted Morphling. The way that their draft is reading right now, so they have to sort of adapt. They take out this Lina, and they will be putting in the Leshrac. So you were speaking about it in game number 1 when we did see the Yopaj Leshrac emerge, that it usually has been Somnus for the side of RNG. Interestingly enough, though, this is going to be one of those games where he does not have a natural save. Only has the Lich Frost shield, potentially like a toss back on the Tiny, but unless they're going to be shifting the Tiny into a more core role, it does feel like this is going to be one of the more naked Leshracs coming in from Somnus.
Yeah, we touched on it in the first draft, right, where a lot of these Chinese teams really do like to have the battery and the save. For RNG, we got the Nyx Assassin as well as the Ember Spirit. So we are transitioning this Marcy in towards a core role, but this Nyx Assassin has been such a good response to these Leshracs and Liches, and I'm surprised his stocks haven't been so high here, and Boom are definitely in a really good spot right now. Yopaj playing the Ember Spirit has been one of those heroes for the last couple of years that has been a standout for him, and we've seen what happened in the last game with Somnus being able to play the Ember Spirit up against the Leshrac, and now in combination with the Nyx Assassin. Boom, they're in a really good spot to be able to set up for these pushes, right? They've got the Chen in the front line, Nyx Assassin can go around the back with the Vendetta, they catch out one of these heroes, Ember Spirit goes in combination with the Marcy, bouncing off some of these creeps, and then all it takes is Jackie to be able to play one of these heroes that actually takes the tower. So RNG, I want to see Chalice to be able to pick one of these beefcakes that can kind of sit in the front. I was going to say before I would have loved to have seen an Underlord, but now with the Nyx Assassin, feels pretty bad for Chalice. Oh, okay.
Y'all at home might obviously weren't privy to a off-air conversation I was having with the boy Fluke here, where I was literally complaining about Nyx, just talking trash about this hero, how much it sucks to play into, how bad it's to play into with like Underlord heroes. Leshrac, this AoE, uncontrollable damage, Nyx loves it. Even Tiny doesn't really have the best of times because now you're playing the scouting game, right? Who has superior vision? How do you know that the person you're tossing into isn't actually a trap? And here on Boom Esports, they do have several heroes that can get away fairly quickly. It's only really the Chen that's like a stationary hero. But I'm liking this Lone Druid pickup. Now this seems to suggest to me, fast game. No matter which direction this goes, this is going to be a fast one, it feels like. This Ghost Lone Druid in tandem with Leshrac, like you put the Frost Shield not on the Leshrac, I suppose, but on the Lone Druid Spirit Bear. It's the one that tacks up all these shots. It's at the forefront of the tower. How does Boom Esports deal with this if their own ball on the side of RNG starts to come in around this like 25-minute mark, beating on your towers and demanding that you open up?
Yeah, that's going to be the hard part, right? Because, you know, Marcy, when she usually wants to jump in, she wants to try and jump in, pop BKB, and hit that Unleash. And, like, you don't really have a good target, you know, going in towards the Lone Druid because you want to stun up his bear, but you also want to be able to kill the actual Lone Druid. So it feels kind of awkward for the Master to be able to engage in here. And that's why I like that Boom get rid of the Mars. I want to see now that they have to try and transition into one of these heroes for Jackie that can kind of clear these waves out. They need to make sure that they don't get caught out into a position where RNG are just, as you said, kind of just knocking on their doors. They need to have somebody who can kind of clear out a lot of these waves and also has a relatively good matchup against the Lone Druid. You're going to ban out the Drow Ranger here as well. I imagine feels like it's a pretty bad PL game. What's another hero that Jackie has really been playing? I'm going to have a look back at some of these other drafts and see what Jackie has been playing. So he played a TA game 1 and he played a Terrorblade game 2. In their series up against OG, he played Phantom Windsor and Terrorblade again. So, yeah, those heroes are out right now.
I don't think you play TA here. I mean, if it was going to be purely just matched up in the mid lane as things used to be, you could be like, well, not that big of a deal. But no, the way the game is being played right now, it feels like TA not the full fit here for Jackie. How about Jug? But Jug also sometimes struggles with Lone Druid. Just get beaten down by the bear during spin. SF's already been banned. There's no Morphling.
The only other hero that I've really seen floating around has been the Luna, but Luna also has issues going in towards the Lone Druid just because Eclipse feels kind of bad most of the time. It's a kind of Jackie hero. Maybe it has to just be the Juggernaut. Maybe it's just the Juggernaut just for the spin.
10 seconds remaining.
Naga feels a bit awkward into the Leshrac as well.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, I could potentially see Naga. Like, it's not that big a deal that your illusions die that quickly. You can still set up.
Do
we just pick Sniper? There it is. Yeah, I was gonna say, surely you just pick Sniper here because there's no real way for RNG to get on top of you. It gives you that nice little bit of wave clear. You've got the shrapnel. Has been something that we've seen throughout the entirety of the tournament. Has been this Sniper. You're able to deal with the. You don't really have to worry about the Lich kind of solo killing your carry either. For what we saw in a few series earlier on today. So I like this Sniper. They still need to make sure that they can at least peel for him. Because they've got a lot of heroes that can go forward and a lot of heroes that can deal with this. Okay, Lycan. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow,
okay.
dude. Lycan, Lone Druid, and Leshrac here coming in from the side of RNG. So just push on, push on, push on, push on, push. Like you mentioned, they can't really reach the Sniper for Jackie as long as he's positioned properly. I mean, Kaka's going to buy Blink Dagger eventually, but it's going to be extremely difficult to reliably find the Sniper. He has other heroes in front of him that can buy time as well. There's the Chen All Heal. This Nyx Assassin can be a perpetual scout to make sure no one's coming in. Do you like BOOM Esports' draft enough that you think they can withstand this overwhelming push that RNG are angling for in Game 2?
It feels like a lot of it is just is on Jackie on the Sniper. I feel like they're going to have some issues trying to deal with Chalice running in towards the back and then also trying to deal with Lone Druid and Somnus at the same time. There's a lot more lockdown that Royal Never Give Up have. BOOM. If they're on the front foot and they're knocking on the doors, then I feel like they can do a decent amount of work with FBZ being able to link up with the Nyx Assassin. There's going to be a lot of effort and a lot of pressure being put on Jackie in this game. And sometimes when the Sniper stands tall, he can stand tall. And for what we've seen so far, these latter stage of these Sniper picks have been really good. So I'm gonna put this one on BOOM this time around. I feel like they can get this one done.
In the history so far at TI 11, both involving the group stages and the last chance qualifiers, the later in the draft the Sniper emerges, the higher your odds of winning the game with him. In this one, they have to deal with a really, really, really fast push coming in from RNG. Have to brawl a lot because they don't have that many high cooldowns. But let's see how it goes. Game 2 between BOOM Esports and the side of Royal Never Give Up here in the TI 11 group stages. One of the last games of the evening all across TI, but definitely the last game of the night here on Stream D. So let's get into it, see how this goes. This is Group A, right?
Yep.
I'll be fine being biased in favor of RNG. Let's go! Let's go, Somnus.
Now let's see what RNG are able to do. As you alluded to a little bit earlier on, EG sitting at the top, 6-0, and they do the best. I'm feeling pretty good with how Group A is going. But if RNG get the 2-0 here up against BOOM, then they are very close towards the top as well. And getting the upper bracket of TI is very, very good. It gives you that extra second life. Also means that you don't rest too hard on your laurels here. So I really feel like BOOM, they kind of have to play peel for this Sniper. They have to play so Yopaj can be in the front line. They need to try and play around the fact that Sniper is going to be the one that's going to be ran at. Unless they are on the front foot, then this Jackie Sniper can do a lot of work. So RNG though, man, their push is going to be fast. If they come out with some good lanes, Somnus comes out on top a little bit here. Chalice gets an early, Helm of the Overlord. We get something pretty early on here for Ghost. If he gets, this Desolator Mask of Madness timing. These towers, they're going to fall. And they're going to fall relatively fast as well. I'm not really sure what BOOM's going to be able to do with it. Yeah, at least have Shrapnel, I guess.
So they have Shrapnel, potentially Maelstrom, Sleight of Fist. And that's it, yeah.
guess technically Impale, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Technically.
Tech.
It's sort of how McDonald's is technically beef.
Hey man, I come from Australia. Australian McDonald's has nothing but 100% pure Australian Angus beef. I'll not have you slander my wonderful beef here down under.
This mid lane matchup. We just saw this happening between the two. Yopaj did end up coming slightly ahead of that one in terms of denies, even though they were equal on CS and therefore he had more net worth. But I imagine that these two will probably have similar results in the middle. I don't expect them to really be able to pressure each other heavily unless they get some assistance from one of these two supports. So either Kaka or FBZ. Oh, actually, FBZ is playing the Marcy here from the off lane. So they need either Tims to move from bottom. I don't think Skem can make any big movements on the Chen that will reliably threaten an Ember Spirit. So bottom lane is where Somnus has to keep his gaze upon so that if somebody's missing, they can make the call and say, yo, get back, Tims is on the way.
Yeah, I don't think Tims is really going to ever be able to leave this bottom lane. It's going to be so hard for them to give this extra bit of space to Jackie, because no matter what kind of level that he's at, as long as Chalice and Kaka are anywhere in this lane, they're going to be able to get the combination with the Avalanche toss, and if Jackie gets caught out and loses his life here on the sniper, it's going to be a bit of a rough one to be able to play through, so it'll be scary for Tim to make the rotation.
First blood's coming down to FBZ. Will it come? Yes, it will. X-Nova blasts him down, utilizing this Frost Blast. That is not good news for FBZ. We saw earlier on when we were witnessing TSM versus Tundra that if this offlane Marcy can get off to a good start, she can be a dominant force on the map, but dying early on in a lane that doesn't necessarily get easier as time goes on, this is not the makings or the foundation of what you would expect from a good start for the Marcy.
He has double bracer now on FBZ, so he at least has that little bit of extra time there. Paz tried to be a sneaky little bugger and try and yoink the Warrior Rune directly from Somnus' nose, but he wasn't able to get that one done. So that's where all the spams coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Paz is one of those sneaky kind of mid lane players. He always tries to be a little bit cute, especially when it comes to the Ember Spirit. I want to see if he makes a rotation during the first power rune, whether or not they bring Tims towards this mid lane to get the first power rune for the Ember Spirit and him make the rotation towards top, because getting kill on the Lone Druid will be big, but also relatively easy, right? They've got FBZ, the rebound will come through, they can just dispose him back, they've got the Slider Fierce, they've got the Flame Guard, so they're able to take down Ghost early on. If they're able to kick out this Lone Druid, they can send the Chen up here as well. They've got the side kick. Ember Spirit makes his way towards top, and then they just put a lot of pressure on this tier 1 tower and just force Ghost to play this kind of disengage kind of game, because if RNG are able to group up with their heroes towards that 10-12 minute mark, and they've got a few items on their heroes as well, these towers will fall, and they will fall fast.
There is a reason that they were able to grab the W earlier on today over the side of Team Liquid. It was utilizing a very heavy push draft as well. So looks like they want to try and have different dimensions to their game plan, be able to take games extremely quickly, but also if needed, slow the situation down and look for a win deeper in the line. We'll have yet another early game laning phase where it's very, very quiet. That might change a little bit because X-Nova did get disposed back into Skembelu and gets cleaned up by the Chen as well as this Marcy. That always feels good. Revenge, a dish best served as cold as the Lich. So FBZ happy about this, getting closer towards having these phase boots. Yes, nice slow game where not too much will be expected to happen without like some degree of rotations. Obviously, we know that RNG are the team that want to come out of these lanes in a much more advantageous position. Oh, middle. Hold on. Somnus. Is he going to try run down Yopaj? No way. Doesn't have the mana for this. Yopaj, though, I'm sure is a little bit more scared than he would like to be. He's already committed the magic wand. He's ferrying in additional regen with the healing salve, but still doesn't feel good to be experiencing this much pressure from Somnus. And I was mentioning earlier that Somnus and Yopaj went somewhat even in game number 1. Somnus only being outstripped in denies. Here, he's outstripping him in CS, outstripping him in denies, just straight up beating the Yopaj Ember Spirit in this mid lane.
Yeah, I think Somnus also has gone for more levels in the Lightning Storm this time around as well, so a little bit of slight nuances and slight differences in this game, so Somnus being able to come on top is always nice. And Jackie Getting the kill on Kaka bottom. This is exactly what you want as your sniper, especially a last pick sniper. If you get off to this very nice start, we're able to get a lot of these wraith bands early on. You get towards your treads, going in towards that maelstrom. Anytime you make a rotation, you're able to put a lot of pressure on the map because sniper does a deceptive amount of damage early on, right? That's why we've been seeing this hero a whole lot more. Shrapnel, amazing ability, and then if he's able to just constantly get these headshot procs going, especially if he gets a javelin early, he does a lot of damage and it's hard to get away from this sniper.
He's already building into the javelin so he can get the maelstrom going for himself. And Chalice has been somewhat abandoned down in this bottom lane as Kaka has decided to start rotating towards middle, ensure that Somnus can pick up an action rune. Where's it going to spawn? At top. Cool. Somnus gets this. He might decide to just go clean up the jungle or maybe just get a free kill out of this Chen. As Skem is close to X-Nova. No mana though for the Sinister Gaze. He finally does have enough of it. He's lost vision, but I think they'll still be able to find this chase. They get him through the trees. They activate the Pulse Nova. And Somnus just literally walks him down. It's like, sweet mate, thanks. Got myself a free kill here. And they're not done just yet here, Fluke, because look where Kaka is. He's sitting in behind the tier 1 tower. They're just waiting for the creep wave to get close enough to tank this up. And FBZ has gone in with the sidekick, but with no unleash, he is 100% dead here. Leshrak showed up for this one as well. And you were saying that they should group up like 10, 12 minutes. Somnus says, that's going to take too long, buddy. I'm coming top at 7. We're going to get this tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, getting the first power rune. They walk their way towards the top side of the map. Somnus is pretty scary at that level 6. Ghost getting himself a very kind of opportune route there onto FBZ means they're able to get the kill on the offlaner and transition that directly in towards a tier 1 tower. So from here on out, I'm just looking towards Boom and seeing what their ideas are going to be in the next couple of minutes. They're pressuring this tier 1 tower towards the bottom side of the map with Jackie. They're able to spam it out with the shrapnels. And there's not really much that Chalice is able to do, right? Like, he's just kind of can't really stand in this level 3 shrapnel. They're just going to do a lot of damage, and they're going to see if they can kill Yopaj in the middle lane. They just don't have any mana on Somnus, which is always a little unfortunate.
He got very, very lucky because Kaka was closing the gap and had Avalanche, but it was still on cooldown. So he wasn't able to get off the toss. He couldn't get that close. So nicely done to be able to stay alive middle. Yopaj. The most important thing is that he keeps his tower very, very alive. Honestly, RNG, if they lost the tower bottom, I think they don't feel nearly as good about the move they made to the top lane. But Chalice being able to come back just in time to protect it means that things aren't so bad. Somnus, though, things might start to look a little bit poor for him here. Kaka was going for the young Avalanche to prevent Yopaj grabbing the Invis rune. Will fail to do so. And as a result, Somnus realizes he's out of resources. Just has to be bounced all the way back home. Yopaj can still play around, though. Do you think he's going to utilize this to try and make something happen on the map? He is level 7 at the moment. And he's also ferrying in the full Orb of Corrosion. Is this an opportunity for him to try and maybe force a play on the map somewhere?
Yeah, it definitely feels like it. You can see that he's pushing out this middle lane as well. Usually when you see the mid laner make the rotation out, you want to try and push the lane in and try and make a rotation somewhere else. You can see now he has this Orb of Corrosion. He's going to pop out the Invis rune, but Yopaj is going to get caught out here by X-Nova. At least know that he's alive, so yep, this Invis rune really not going to do all too much.
X-Nova has level 1 Sinister Gaze. He didn't necessarily say to Somnus, I'm gazing him right now. So they weren't able to combo together for the split earth. Otherwise, that could have been a kill. They smoke up right now. They know for a fact that there's no vision here because they already have their own wards down. It's a great place to try and mount a smoke. Somnus, his smoke will break, so they know somebody is nearby. It's Tims, but Tims, at the very least, will reveal that this is happening. Buy space and time so that Jackie can escape. If Jackie dies here inside the jungle at this stage of the game, it looks so poor for them, but he does not. He has to keep farming. And Tims gave up his life for the Vision cause. A noble one for a support.
Bottom tower
Yeah, exactly what Tims needs to do. And you could see that he understood his kind of role, right? Like, they got pushed out of bottom from Chalice. He has this level 6 here on the Lycanthrope. That if ever he hits that shapeshift, then that's when the sniper is just going to go down. So they're just going to leave that tower to Chalice. Yes, you get the tier 1 tower. We're just going to let Jackie farm this jungle camps. And Tims understands that they're going to make a rotation towards him at some point. If I can stand here, if I can break a smoke, if I can tank a gank, I'm going to feel pretty good with how this game is going. So they're going to put their attention towards the top side of the map. and see if they can try and put extra pressure back here onto Ghost. You can see Yopaj is kind of hovering around. He knows that there's like a place that he kind of wants to be, but he can't really get away from this tier 1 tower, because if they lose this mid tier 1, that is all their tier 1's gone here at 10 minutes into the game.
Unfortunately, it might not be up to him here, Fluke, as they're jumping him. Avalanche does actually connect. The full combo is out.
Oh, he dodged it.
Yopaj dodges the split earth like an absolute G, so he won't end up dying here in this mid lane. However, towers do not have access to Sleight of Fist, so cannot dodge the damage coming in from RNG, and they have indeed lost all of their tier 1s pre-11 minutes here. BetBoom Esports at the very least claimed back the tier 1 tower top and are well on track to getting FBZ, the BKB at the ready, but for the most part, this map feels very comfortable for the side of RNG. Chalice is playing inside their jungle, getting very close towards having the full Vlads, and then he'll have an even bigger and stronger army.
Yeah, they're really starting to hit their timings here as well. So Yopaj is seeing if you can try and reclaim some of this area of the map, but after losing all your tier 1 towers, like once you've lost all your tier 1 towers, you feel so vulnerable on the map, right? Like it is so far away for you to try and kill these creep camps from any of these towers, from any of this safe haven that you've got. And that's why you can see a lot of this vision that's being put up here by BetBoom Esports is trying to reclaim some of this space and seeing if they can reclaim some of this jungle so they can at least have some of these safer places to farm, because it's 11 minutes into the game and you don't really have a good place for you to farm. Like FBZ can't be pushing out these waves because he doesn't want to go in towards Ghost. They can't really farm the triangle all too much because it's only 11 minutes in. Nobody can really take Ancients reliably. And a lot of this mid lane farm is kind of going to Yopaj because he needs to be somewhere as well. And it just feels like this map is getting oh so small for them. This would be a big kill on the Somnus though.
It is indeed a very big kill onto Somnus. They jump him, FBZ, happy to throw out the Unleash immediately. Tims will die behind the tower. Shout out to X-Nova. He knew he was dead, but he still threw out the high five before he goes down. What a lad. Still, that's 2 quick kills. Other side, though, they're not done just yet. Scam did scout out both Ghost and Kaka, but I don't think Ghost and Kaka actually want to fight this. Their heroes being dead, they would much rather just go back and keep farming. And this mid tower will get pushed in by the side of BetBoom Esports. At the same time, though, Chalice is at the ready, looking to put pressure on the tier 2 tower as well. Tier 1 mid still hasn't fallen. It takes them so much longer to make this push than what it takes RNG. And in that duration, look how low the tier 2 tower bottom fell here, Fluke. That's just Chalice, nobody else. Just Chalice with the Helm of the Dominator, and the tier 2 tower almost died in this bottom lane.
To be fair, I think he had like 3 rounds of the Raze dead as well. I saw that the buff was on Chalice himself, that he was getting like a plus extra like 25 damage or like 30 damage or something like that. So his Lycan Wolves with that plus bonus damage just means that they're able to do so much work here. They're trying to make a go here on Ghost, but they don't have the Unleash. Dispose is in a good spot.
But he's dead anyway. Shout out Jackie for showing up at the right time. Okay. That's going to cost the tier 2 down bottom, though. There's no way, because RNG are already smoked up, ready to look at contesting this. They dust up onto this next assassin, and they'll be able to find the kill. Yopaj, does he have a defensive remnant? He does. It's fairly close by, though. So he could re-engage if desired. Nonetheless, though, RNG, the thing they desired most in this world of the tier 2 tower, they will be able to find. And the thing is, yes, it sucks to lose Ghost. It's very, very painful, but at this stage of the game, Ghost is not actually worth that much. He's worth a lot in terms of potential. So he's not yet at a point where losing him actually affects the game states. I think RNG are okay with this.
Yeah, they're definitely okay with it because they haven't hit that that go button just yet for Ghost, right? They haven't been able to be like, hey, let's get this 5-man ball going. Let's see what we can do. But FBZ is doing a beautiful job so far.
Chain Frost, though, bouncing in right onto him. Chalice looking for revenge. These creeps tanking up so much of the Chain Frost. He's not dead just yet, but the army will be able to finish him off. And Chalice, now not only a tower killer, but a hero killer as well, as he picks up his first fatality in this game. 1-0-1. It's a huge deal because this Marcy, FBZ, was not that far away from having access to the BKB, Fluke. And you saw in previous games how much more different the performances are from a Marcy when she has access to the early BKB versus when she doesn't. And she almost had it like now. Now she has to wait a little bit longer.
It's always a little bit unfortunate when you get close to that first kind of item spike and not really able to get it done. So FBZ getting close towards that that BKB is always nice. Ghost though is starting to hit his trajectory as well, getting close towards that Desolator. I imagine that's going to be the timing mark for them. Oh, how did they find Tim's? X-Nova being able to get the second sense. They did have a sentry there, so they saw him as he walked up the ramp. Having that pre-play sentry just means that X-Nova was able to find out Tim's. They get the dust and they get the kill there onto the Nyx Assassin. So they're in a good spot right now, RNG. They've almost got a lot of their items up online. They've got Helmet Overlord now on Chalice. Karkar's getting ever so close towards his Blink Dagger. I believe it's on the career right now to him. Yeah, so he has his Blink Dagger on the Tiny. X-Nova, he just wants to try and build towards that shard as early as possible. And Ghost almost on the Desolator. So RNG, definitely in a good spot right now, especially once they hit this Bloodstone onto Somnus. Whereas on the other side of things here for Boom, they've got the Dragonlance, they've got the Maelstrom up on the Sniper. Maelstrom almost completed here onto Yopaj and FBZ once he gets to the BKB. They're able to hit some of these timings. But still just waiting a few minutes for both these two teams here, Snare. So I'd imagine this might slow down a little bit, and then it's just going to be all-out tower push. They're going to be trying to get Roche as quickly as they possibly can for RNG. And it's all about Boom, how they respond to the pressure that's going to be happening on their side of the map.
Ooh, look at this. These are some interesting item timings for the side of RNG. They've just finished the first part of the Desolator. Well, they actually have the Desolator on Lone Druid. They had the Lone Druid Desolator. They have Bloodstone on the Somnus Leshrac. They have the full Helm of the Overlord. And they just have their Blink Dagger for Kaka, like you were mentioning. So I think they go now. Like, either they try force a Roche, or we force a fight. Let's go. RNG. What's happening? BetBoom Esports, though. Look at Yopaj. Understanding his assignment. He gets the jump from Kaka onto Tins, though. Very quick kill. He does have buyback. He might be incentivized to use it. We shall see. Somnus already committed the Bloodstone on that one. But Yopaj was trying to scout inside the Roshan pit. He understood that this is exactly around the time when a draw such as theirs would be trying to make this exact move. And he's not wrong. Unfortunately, he might just lack the capability to stop it with his squad. They are coming in, streaming into this side of things. FBZ has access to the BKB, but it's too late. They have lost access to the Roshan pit. They've lost the Roche, they've lost the Aegis. So now this Leshrac. You know, I wish I was naive enough to be like, oh, it's going to be a farming Aegis. Nope. They're going to keep going with this one.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they've just hit this kind of scary timing, right? As you said, Desolator being built up. They've got the Helmet, the Overlord. They've got everything they need for the Leshrac with the Bloodstone, and now with the Aegis of the Immortal. Like, it's really going to be limited days for the remainder of these towers. But picking up Chalice here could be big for Boom.
See if they can get him. Chalice does get picked up by Scam, as the rest of BetBoom Esports are able to clean him up. Okay, that is a substantial kill for them to be able to find there on this Lycan. It is a bit unfortunate that Scam is the one that gets the gold for that one, but you know, what can you do? As long as he's dead, that's the important thing right now. Regrettably, they won't be able to leverage this into something larger, but it is going to be time wasted off of this Aegis. But they're not done just yet here, Fluke. Look at this. They're jumping into the dire jungle. See Yopaj. He could get gazed here. He needs to be careful. Avalanche will be there. Where's the Sinister Gaze? They don't even need it. They just finish him off with raw damage. Kaka on a killing spree all of a sudden. And that's how you get revenge for your dead Lycan. You bring down their Ember Spirit. Okay. We'll never give up. Just feeling very oppressive wherever they are on the map.
Yeah, it really feels like that RNG right now are just dotting their I's and crossing their T's, right? It just seems like a very straightforward game plan they've got here. They can get their ball up going. They understand that they can burst any of these heroes down. They've got Kaka with the Blink Dagger.
Oh, the swords.
Scam.
The swords. Scam's dead. They might be able to bring down the Tiny, though. So some revenge immediately gotten for them as well. Somnus is in danger. Somnus needs some assistance right now. X-Nova, can he get him out of this? Seems like they are dissuaded by seeing the shapeshift of the Lycan. They still know they're dealing with an Aegis, and they do not know whether the Tiny has buyback or not. Ultimately, though, they do make sure that the last vestiges of that ward are wasted. And it's not going to be RNG getting a quick kill into another quick tier 2 tower. But BetBoom Esports not satisfied with this status quo. They might find Ghost. He's got the bear in front of him to try and block things off. And they know where he's at. But there is a tier 1 tower here, Fluke. So they can come in very, very fast on the side of RNG. Looks like Ghost read the play, goes into the true form. This is going to be buying space and time. They know what's happening. Where's the counterplay here? The damage from this bear will be good enough to kill Tims. And now Kaka, the blink onto FBZ, forcing him to go into the BKB TP out. Where are the roots? Not available. Ghost wasn't pressing his root button. And that'll allow FBZ to escape. Down bottom, Yopaj inside the trees here. But they don't have a clear beat onto him, so they can't make the jump. Nonetheless, boom, they smoked out, but RNG was ready.
I was trying to figure out there how they had the idea. Oh, with the fear and the roots, Yopaj is dead.
Yopaj?
Okay.
Yopaj?
All right.
But I thought he left. I thought he was going to leave.
I think he was just trying to play one of these next creep waves, just feeling like that they didn't have enough damage to take him down, but they definitely did. Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, in that last team fight, how they had that second Spidey sense. I believe that they just got a glimpse on the outpost as they walked past. So it was just a little bit of extra bit of vision that went forward there for RNG, and they were able to figure that one out. And Yopaj getting caught lacking in that bottom side of the map means that now T2 Tower is on the menu. They've still got a minute left in this Aegis as well. Feels like this Aegis was almost 10 minutes ago. But RNG, they're just slowly compressing this map, right? Like it's slowly getting to this point where Boom just don't really have much of a way for them to get out onto the map. You saw how hard it was for Yopaj to try and deal with any of these heroes that get on top of him. Jackie's getting to the point where he's starting to become a very, very scary hero. But I think as long as RNG play this game slow and don't overstep their bounds when they go towards high ground and just give Jackie like a triple kill as they go high ground, and they should be okay with how this game is going, because they're just going to be able to slowly crush the rest of the map, get a whole lot more of this gold. Jackie's going to be the only one that's going to be an issue for them. They kill Yopaj in these fights, kill Tims in these fights, FBC is not going to be able to be that scary, and then eventually they'll be able to collapse there onto the sniper. So clear path ahead for RNG, I would say, but definitely inroads for Boom.
Well, it's RNG's turn today to be enjoying a north of 90% win rate, or win probability rather, against the side of Boom. Currently sitting, or it was sitting a moment ago at 92%, just before they reclaimed their outpost. Of course, we've seen just how slippery such numbers can actually be when it comes to reality. But for RNG though, the interesting thing about their drop is they also are aware that they are on not a massive timer, but a bit of a timer, right? You do not want to be playing this draft in perpetuity. They want to be wrapping this game up in the next 10 minutes at the very latest. Ideally, much sooner than that. Now they're going to smoke up to try and achieve these ends. Who is available on the map? There's Tims doing his role as the next assassin, breaking smokes, standing in front of the sniper. They know where the sniper is at, but I'm not sure they'll be able to get the quick jump and the kill at the same time.
Oh, the
also just picked up a blink dagger on Meshrak. Yep. Shout out Tims doing the next job. What a guy.
Yeah, it was just the awkward area for them to break that smoke as well, just in front of the creep wave, where they got revealed, and now that Boom had the high ground as well, that was going to be a bit of a rough smoke for RNG to try and push into. And they didn't really have their heroes either. Soniqs was over near towards the outpost, so the Leshrac really wasn't even in the best kind of area for them to have one of those engages going forward. And yeah, we see that Boom is just slowing this game down. They understand that as long as this game isn't over, as long as they haven't lost their tier 3 towers, they're going to be A-okay. They found out X-Nova though, he's dead. Yep, that is a very dead Lich. Smoke for a Lich.
To come in.
Probably not the worst. Probably not too
X-Nova's
sad right
job.
now, RNG. Yeah.
He's like, well, if I have to die, at least there's not anybody else on the squad. They do have to vacate the triangle now, though, because they'll know that BetBoom Esports are probably not satisfied with just getting the one Lich kill, and they'll try and search quite desperately for more and more and more. Incredibly for them, they aren't able to find anything, but they are able to start the deep push job down bottom. It's very important playing against these kind of drafts here to ensure that your lanes are never being pushed in, for fear of what could happen if something goes wrong in a fight and suddenly they just show up, and that pushed in wave turns into a pushed in lane of racks. So they're doing the right thing, and they're doing it on all three sides of the map, right? We see him, they're doing it middle. Now Jackie TPs to try and accomplish the same situation in the top lane. Yopaj already has a remnant from down bottom, and they're giving away some space for experience through mid, so that
Dire's bottom
FBZ is not
tower
just
is
left
under
behind in the
attack.
dust as this game scales.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing here from Boom is they understand that they can start to scale pretty well. We've seen what late game Ember Spirits are able to do once he gets towards, that Aghanim Scepter, as long as and things like the Octa Ring Core. Whereas RNG is starting to slow down a little bit here. They're not, the worst when it comes to scaling, but definitely as a Lycan, you really want to try and have this game finished up relatively fast. They're getting close towards the AC, so that's going to be their next power spike here. They did just pick up a freshly finished BKB as well on Summoners, so RNG, they're starting to get to a point where they're maybe potentially going to be able to crack high ground, but they still haven't been able to deal with Jackie just yet. And I haven't really seen them build items to deal with Jackie. Like, yeah, Chalice is going to be able to hit the shapeshift and walk in towards the background, but all it takes is Boom to have a little bit of peel and catch Chalice out. That it's going to be very, very hard for him to just kind of run on top of Jackie, who now has the concussive grenade as well. So he has that little bit of disengage, and once he gets towards something like a Hurricane Pike, it's going to be hard for them to do him as well. So, Boom, they're starting to feel like this game is petering towards a little bit of normalcy as well. We can see that the net worth is starting to even out a little bit. They're starting to pull back the experience by being able to clear out a few more of these waves, and RNG just haven't been able to hit that stamp yet. And I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from today here, Snare, is some teams are really struggling to be able to close out the game. So maybe we might see a more tendency on day number 2 of these group stages to have these heroes that are much more kind of late game centric, where it's a lot easier. A lot of players have been able to end the game at like 40 minutes when you have 1 or 2 items extra, but trying to end the game before 25, 30 minutes, it's pretty hard because you have to do it pretty consistently and pretty concisely to be able to be kind of experts at finishing in those games nice and early.
Getting these quick solutions or these quick results, not easy, like you mentioned. I suppose it's also a situation where the changes to how the map operates, right, with the glyph in particular, just sort of frustrates your attempts to end the game faster. Because it pretty much every step of the way, IceFrog is trying to say, hey, play longer, play more Dota.
Hey.
So, it's not easy. It might get a little bit easier now. You mentioned the AC that was going to come earlier. But here's a potential response for the Sniper. They had just got the blink on Somnus, but they're also about to pick up a nullifier on Chalice. We'll talk about it in a second. Like, we see X-Nova getting jumped on right now, taking some damage.
Oh, the fear.
But here comes the fear onto Yopaj. Not enough to kill him off, though, as he is able to get off the BKB at the very last second. They ran out of disables. They committed all of them. X-Nova couldn't close the gap for the Sinister Gaze. That was so close. Yopaj almost lost his life, but RNG also don't end up losing anybody. They stand firm, they stand strong, and they stand to be able to get some vision control back again here, because they need to. In the advent of Roshan respawning, they certainly want to go back into the pit and use this Aegis to try and end the game.
Yeah, it's one of those scariest scenarios right now where Roshan is becoming the focal point for both these teams, and RNG. We see how scared they are trying to commit on towards this Sniper, because they know that if they start walking towards these shrapnel charges, they're going to get slowed down, and then all it takes is Boom to be able to come in, get a Sleight of Fist, Syrian Chains. They've got the Nexus Assassin with the Impale, and then FBZ. If he gets a good initiation with his BKB and his Basher, it's going to be hard to deal with. So this game is starting to, I feel like, slip away here for RNG. This last pick of the Sniper is kind of what's coming to fruition here when I saw it from the draft. I felt like that as long as this game isn't over in like 25, 30 minutes, that we're going to be relatively happy with how this goes. Yeah, we've seen what Masters has been able to do on the front lines these days. We've seen what Yopaj has been able to do on this Ember Spirit as well. And touched on it just before, it's so hard to concisely and quickly finish these games of Dota right now.
Fluke, have we had a straightforward win before?
Not
or have all of our
today.
games been like weird stuff? You know, major comebacks, long drawn out affairs. I don't think we've actually, maybe one of the series in the last chance qualifiers, like that Vici wildcard game maybe. But we'll talk about it in a second as middle. Here's the answer for Jackie. Unfortunately, he gets off the BKB. Look how much damage he did just on an immediate turnaround. He's trying to TP out. They don't have a basher to stop him. So he's allowed to escape. RNG
Okay.
They're feeling the same pressure that you're alluding to right now. They recognize that allowing this game to stretch longer and longer is not in their best interest. However, they did commit the shapeshift for that. And that means that Boom knows that if they can find and exploit a small timing just as shapeshift ends,
look
the
how
Lycan will not
fast
be that strong.
is.
But the Roshan is just being eaten alive. But look at the jump, Tims! Finds 2 heroes with the Impale. Both supports are gone in the blink of an eye. They have to buy back. BKBs being popped inside of the Roshan pit as the BKBs of FBZ and Yopaj allow them to chomp through the Leshrac. Somnus' first life has been taken away. However, they don't have the BKB protection anymore, so they can't jump back in for the second one. With these buybacks on RNG, Boom, they've got what they came for. They know that this wasn't about winning the fight here, Fluke. This was about preventing them from having the Aegis. So now they can't push up the high ground. The game is delayed, and suddenly Boom have a natural advantage going their way again.
Bro, my man Yopaj did a 3.5k damage in that last fight by himself. I don't know how he's done so much damage, but there was a Somnus there and he got melted. He disappeared. He got evaporated. I don't know how it happened, but RNG are still trying to answer that question as well because Boom, I still feel like they're in the driver's seat. Obviously, they had to use the BKB there on Jackie to at least survive that initiation that came in from RNG, but you saw how quick they were able to respond to that, right? They knew that all they had to do was run over towards the Roche pit, and if they're the ones that are on the front foot, RNG have no real way of them being able to get in towards the backline. Shapeshift being committed, they've got 2 Blink Daggers that are at least floating around on their team members, but if they can't be the ones that are blinking towards the sniper, initially using things like the Pulse Nova and the Avalanche Toss combo, that Jackie's going to be able to put himself in a good enough position that he's going to at least be able to get these auto attacks down. And if he's not the one that's getting the auto attacks down, we saw how much damage Yopaj was able to do when he pops his BKB. So RNG starting to feel the pinch here, especially after losing that second Aegis there, that it's starting to get to a point here, Snare, where RNG, they might have to do something wacky and crazy. I might see some of these weird kind of smokes where they're trying to get these awkward kind of wraparounds and just throw everything they can onto Jackie. But they need to make sure they at least still keep enough in the tank to try and take down somebody like Yopaj, who has been a slippery little bugger today.
Yep. RNG window is indeed closing. I mean, to be fair, it's our fault for reminding everybody that they had a north of 90% win probability every single time that happens. It's time for it to switch up.
Yeah.
Still though, RNG doing their best to control this map here. Kaka and the crew looking for some kind of pit ghost. They're actually looking for pit ghosts. They're trying to force them home because they're just going to try and chomp down the tier 3 tower. No way. Are they going to get this? They will not. True form being popped by Ghost as FBZ jumps onto him with the BKB being active, hoping for a fight here. Tims yet again with a marvelous impale. Catches Kaka, but the Earth Splitter from Omnis is even better. He has the Aghanim shot as well, so it's creating a lot of space there with the Split Earth. Keeps things good for them. They lose Kaka, to be sure. But given this game state, it could have been a lot worse. Mostly, though, they were here for the tier 3 tower. And the next time they make a cheeky move like that, they should be able to claim it. But that speaks to the nature of where this game is right now. RNG can no longer fight heads up. They have to go for the cheeky plays if they want to still win this game.
Yeah, that's where I was saying I feel like this game's going to start getting weird and wacky. RNG, I like the ballsy play, man. They just said, hey, what happens if we just knock on the door of Boom? We can see Boom on some of our wards. We know that they're at least towards the top side of the map. What happens when we start knocking on their door? How fast are they to TP? It was all stations a go for Boom as well. You saw the Go-Go Power Rangers, all 5 of them decided to TP towards the tier 3 tower. And they got close. They got close to be able to take out that tier 3, but it was a beautiful initiation there from FBZ. Just forced the rotation that came in there from RNG. Yes, they take down Kaka, but the Split Earth is just too hard for them to try and move in as well. And Jackie just not having that extra bit of damage just yet, especially with the Haitian that came in from Somnus. So you can see how these team fights are going to go for both RNG as well as Boom, and how they need to play around them. So definitely feels like the work are cut out for them for both these two teams right now. And Boom are definitely the team that needs to get this dub here, because if they end their day going, what is it, 1-5? Probably feeling pretty bad about it. But, you know, 2-3 or 2-4, they're probably pretty okay with how their days ended up being 2-4.
2-4 is, it's not great, but, you know, it's a start. 1-5 is, oof. 1-5 is the one where, when that starts to happen, late night meeting with the whole team, the coach, the manager, we're like, yo, boys. There's actually an apocryphal tale from I believe it was TI5. Which one is the one with CDC? TI5, yeah. So
TI5.
after Zhao Wait and them, because they lost to CDC at some point in the upper bracket, apparently he locked his team in they went to a hotel room and he's like, no one is leaving until we figure out how to beat those boys.
Sometimes it's like that. You're sitting there, you're stressing over what are we supposed to do, and sometimes you're just gonna play your own game. You're just gonna get your own stuff going forward and not have to worry about it all too much. And maybe at the end of these group stages, we're gonna see some new juggernauts rise up to the top. You know, we've seen some good stuff today throughout the group stages here. I've been really satisfied with the wide variety of stuff that we've been seeing. The people are starting to experiment a little bit as well, and man, the amount of comebacks that we've had. Like, if this is what group stages are going to be like, man, those guys who are casting the playoffs games, they're going to be so spoiled. Like, those playoff games are going to be absolutely gnarly. Like, they are going to be insane. If this is what group stages are like, playoffs, god tier.
It's already goated. We haven't even seen a single playoff game, but we already know. RNG officially now slipped behind in the net worth department. Slight lead for Boom, but it's more about the state of affairs in general. Aghanim Scepter just picked up by Yopard right now. So it's understood. Also going to be much more effective and impactful in the midst of these team fights. Not like he's been scary enough, not like he hasn't been dishing out damage already, but now it's even more here, Fluke. Great times.
Yeah, there's a Hex now up on Somnus as well. So they were lacking a little bit of that lockdown on towards the Ember Spirit, but Somnus has gone for a very similar build to what Yopaj did in that game number 1 on the left track, going BKB Flick as well as the Hex. So they've got a little bit of extra lockdown, and this could be the surprise as well. I'm not quite sure if they've actually seen Somnus on any of their wards just yet, so I'm not quite sure if they even know that this Hex is going to be up. Nobody really has a good answer to it. There's no Lincoln Spheres, there's no Aeon Discs right now. They at least have some 4-star Sahana God and the Mech to at least deal with a bit of this damage, but if they catch out Jackie with like a Blink Hex BKB from Somnus and they just get Chalice to run at him and Kaka joins in with a little bit of their Avalanche Tosh combination, they can get rid of their sniper, and getting rid of the sniper for the first time this game is a good time to do it here at 37 minutes. We've seen what happens when it starts getting towards these latter stages and what these teams are able to do. Are they just going to... Oh, no way.
Yep, they are. Yeah, they are.
All right.
Boom, run.
RNG.
Start running,
walk in.
We need you to come back.
Guys can kill this.
Are they just going to go heads up with a... Alright. This is... You wanted weird and wacky? This is... This is not weird and wacky. This is trolly and cheesy. There's nothing you can do about this. Any single time you just look away from your base, suddenly there's a bear beating you down. Oh gosh.
They smoke ganked the racks. They literally just smoked and they walked mid and Ghost said, hey, you guys reckon I can kill this tower? And they said, yeah, sure. And he killed the tower in 3 hits and then said, all right, next is the racks, I guess.
Let's try the racks.
I mean... I talked about it, right? Like, RNG, they need to start pulling apart Boom. They need to not take a head-on fight until they start to... If they get one of these lanes of racks, that's when it starts to alleviate a bit of the pressure, right? They've permanently got one of these lanes. They can send the bear down. They get the bear down there. They can push it out. But, oh, the Hex comes in here. They found Tims.
Yeah, found Tims indeed. But who's found who, in fact? Because Tims finds an Impale. Will end up going down. Kaka also in danger. Nice Sinister Gaze going in onto FBZ. Gets bashed up by the newly picked up Abyssal Blade. However, FBZ does get off the BKB first. So Chalice is the one that has to run himself away. Still though, Ghost in the midst of the fray. Ghost has no bear. He resummons it right now. And the resummon is going to end up killing FBZ with the assistance of Somnus. Now suddenly Jackie realizes he's in a little bit of danger here. He's going to have to go into the BKB, trying to stand his ground versus the bear, versus the lone druid himself. And he's able to kill them both. But now he has no BKB, Fluke. Let's see if he can survive against Somnus, who's in on him with his own BKB. Here comes the Ember though. We're going to try and find space and time. Avalanche dropped down by Kaka. Will assist him in killing the sniper at the very end of the day. It's going to be a triple kill for Jackie before he goes down. But Somnus still able to pick up the double. Trying to TP home to safety. Will be allowed to do so. But RNG only win that fight off the back of a buyback from Kaka as well as the Lich. Sure, they end up killing Jackie at the end of a long engagement, but it's very problematic how much effort it takes to reach the sniper first and foremost, and then how much effort it takes to actually bring him down.
Yeah, double buyback came out from X-Nova and Kaka. The entire time, I was just watching Jackie. He was sitting away, he was peeping away, but It was actually Soniqs who did more damage than him. They caught out Tim's relatively early on. FBZ really just couldn't get into this fight and get the unleash going. There was too many stuns. There was too much kind of kiting that was going around. He tried his best to at least get on top of Chalice, but you can just see what happens when these BKBs get kited out, right? You know, Jackie is sitting here constantly through the entire time. He burned through the entirety of 2 Bears HP. I think like that's the amount of damage that Jackie did in that team fight. He got through 2 full Spirit Bears, but Soniqs did the same thing. Soniqs did 9.5k damage in that last fight as well, and he just walked around with the R button on. And that's when it got really, really hard for Jackie to try and stand and fight. He's got a lot of this net worth, he's got a lot of this extra damage, but if he's spending so much time trying to kill these bears, that he's just not putting that much extra damage in towards these heroes as well. But yeah, it's a good shout for him to kill these bears, but he needs to start putting that 9.2k damage in towards these heroes.
Yeah. There's a universe where he was spending all that damage killing the Leshrac, and as a result, with Leshrac being dead, RNG get demolished in that fight. But because Leshrac doesn't die, now Leshrac has access to a cheese, and we have Ghost sitting with this Aegis of the Immortal. They do not want to have a situation where they lose the Spirit Bear mid-fight. This bear is fairly strong as well. We saw the impact of the Abyssal Blade. That's actually another small thing, right? Had the Abyssal connected onto FBZ just before BKB had arrived, then FBZ dies faster. Potentially, they can utilize the first bear to try and run down Jackie, and then the second one after BKB is committed. But the way the cookie crumbled, not necessarily favorable initially for RNG until Soniqs came for the cleanup job. But they now have gotten the much desired Aegis. Will they be able to do anything with this one? They've been kept a long way away from the base for quite some time now, unless they go for these cheeky smoke plays. Is there a faster way for them to get there and leverage the fact that they have these dual lives on the Lone Druid?
I think they just want to be very, very careful about not just, you know, kind of throwing away their Spirit Bear lives. Like, they do want to kind of go in and put pressure on towards these Raxes, but they know that Boom have control of this northern side of the map, right? They haven't really been able to go in towards the triangle and kind of kick them out. And if they make their way towards the middle lane, it's going to be hard for them to try and get out of that scot-free, because as soon as they start to push back down past this ramp, they can get wrapped on. They can go towards the bottom side of the map here, which is, I think, what RNG are doing right now. They've got a little bit of control. They've got the outposts of the Dire side. Their creep waves are relatively good in towards mid and top. Maybe try and get them pushed out one more wave. And then they can start putting the pressure in. But yeah, they're just playing oh so cautious. I think RNG know how tight this game can be and how close this game can be if they just let the sniper free hit. So RNG is just playing this very, very slow, very, very calm, because they understand that they're not going to get fought into because they have the Aegis in the cheese, but they also don't want to overstep their bounds and kind of overpress, because we've seen throughout the entirety of today a lot of these comebacks and a lot of these longer drawn out kind of games, and RNG, they don't want to throw, man. They're here to win TI.
Yeah. You do not travel all the way to Singapore, find yourself with the 19 other best teams in the world simply for a vacation, just to have some fun with the boys. You came to win TI. You came to be the star of the next true site, which, thank God, does seem to be happening.
Yep.
Right
Praise
now, though,
be.
neither of these squads really in a position to completely close the game out. RNG is slightly closer. They have a set of exposed racks, and we have seen what can happen with this Lone Druid Spirit Bear. The big thing for me about them taking the tier 3 middle is that now there's no more glyph refresh. So if they're forced to use another glyph on the side of Boom, then that's it. Then they have to wait out the full duration of the cooldown. Looks like we're getting another long one here, though, because even with this Aegis, RNG do not feel like they have the full safety to go forward just yet. They want to finish the BKB on Ghost. So he wants to finish that item before he can make any moves. As I say that, though, they do decide to smoke up. 5 heroes missing off the map. Boom will smoke up as well. 10 heroes missing off the map. Let's freaking go. This fight could decide the whole damn game. Shrapnel, drop down here. Kaka, 2-hero avalanche. But Jopaj able to find the BKB. And Jackie able to find the damage that brings down Kaka. Ghost trying to close down FBZ. They really want to kill the Marcy. She's still alive. She rebounds onto the high ground. She survives it all. And Jackie able to bring down the first Spirit Bear in the process. Somehow, some way, Boom Esports mounts a defense. Despite Kaka catching them first, he's not able to finish them off. And boom, they smell blood in the water. They're hunting them here, Fluke. They want to chase them, but it looks like RNG are retreating. Is there anybody that they can catch at this point from Boom?
I mean, if Chalice sits himself in this position here, he does have the shapeshift form to at least be a little bit faster to get away from here, but Hasn't been all too much committal from either of these two teams. Just a few BKBs being popped, but just not being able to sniff out RNG. I thought they were going to go towards the triangle, but RNG, man, like you can tell that they know that this game is ever so palpable for them, right? Like they know that they are ever close to just constantly throwing this game, because if they overstep their mark, if they try and commit a little bit too hard into Jackie gets a 4K once again, and then we're looking towards this game where BetBoom Esports have finally been able to pull this back. So RNG, they're more than happy for this game to be kind of chill, right? Because they know if they get at least 30 seconds with some of these buildings, they're going to have their way with them. And if they start to crack open a few of these lanes, that's when it starts getting scary. But Boom are finally getting to the point where it's getting late game style. You know, we've seen what your Paj has been able to do in the past with this late game. Ember Spirit, Aghanim, Scepter's up now, Kai Assange is up, he's got his BKB and his Shivers. He's even got the good old Spell Prism. It's always what you like to see on these mid laners. So he's getting to the point here on your Paj where he's starting to hit this critical mass where he is permanently hard to deal with, and also does a boatload of damage. It's kind of the same vein where now your Paj as well as Jackie are getting towards this kind of critical mass where you have to deal with them in these team fights, or they will tear you to shreds, but you can't deal with both of them at the same time.
It is one or the other here in game number 2 between Boom Esports and the side of RNG.
Oh, the Wolf Bite's out.
Yep, he's got the Wolf Bites. I mean, he can give this to the Spirit Bear. So that's probably the plan, it's probably the idea here. Unless he wants to give it to the Lone Druid, so that he's just like double running in. That would be hilarious. They're actually just going to come through on this bottom side of the map. RNG, man. They just have no fear when they go for these kind of plays. And there's the shape-shifted, wolf-bitten Spirit Bear. Seems completely fair and balanced to me. FBZ, though, makes the job. Look who they found. It's Somnus.
Oh, my God.
And the Leshrac dies first. That is a huge, huge loss. He does buy back, though. Ghost eating some right-click damage coming in long range from the sniper. Assassinate will be there. Not enough damage to kill him, though. 210 to still stay alive. But FBZ, BKB plus Bravery equals a dead Leshrac. And RNG really finding themselves in an awkward position down on this bottom lane here, Fluke. A certain overcommitment from them.
I mean, sometimes you just got to go, right? Like, if you're the one that's able to catch out these members lacking, and that's exactly what happened to Somnus. He just got caught lacking, man. Like, you come in with the BKB, the Unleash, he gets the bash early on, and Leshrac goes down nice and fast. And they're able to take down Ghost as well. That would have been monstrous for Boom. But the amount of times, the amount of games that I've seen just where somebody just goes in, right? Like, if you constantly have this umming and ahhing and this indecision, it's so hard for you to try and win these fights because you're constantly waiting for that perfect moment to come forward, and it never comes forward, and then you just eventually lose the lane of racks, you lose too much of this space. But Boom, they say, no, as soon as I see someone, FBZ went in for the perfect time and they got the Leshrac kill, who now doesn't have buyback. They're going to get themselves a bear kill here as well. It's a little bit of extra gold going in the back pocket of Jackie, and Boom, they're putting RNG between a rock and a hard place. Like, what RNG supposed to do here? They're running out of gold. They're running out of this experience before they get caught up by Boom. And eventually this game's going to flip, Snare. And I think at that point, it's going to get scary. Maybe we get tier 5 items today. Maybe that today's the day.
I'm hoping so, my friend. Lich just gets caught right quick by Xnova. They allow Jackie to just finish him off with the Assassinate. I think at this point for RNG, there's only one thing you can do, Fruit. The only one thing you can do, right, is you open the Dota clients, you go through the TI replays from 2013, you study what Alliance was doing, and you rat this game to hell and back. Ain't no other option. Yeah, the straightforward fight, we've already seen, is not going to go bode well for them. Ghost forced to BKB TP out a Spirit Bear. That's the state of the game that we are in right now. Wow.
Yeah, definitely feels bad, man. Especially because he had 40 seconds left on the Spirit Bear. He does have the Aghanim's Blessing as well here on Ghost, so he at least has ways that he can kind of play around with his bear. He doesn't have to worry about the annoying leash range this time around. He's going to go for an MKB on the bear here as well. So just giving that little bit of extra damage. He's getting ever close towards his level 25 as well. So the base attack time, once again, we've seen what this bear's been able to do to these buildings. So once he gets that extra base attack time, it's going to be very, very scary. I think the biggest thing for me is Somnus's kind of item progression has been a little bit stunted. Yeah, he does have the E-Blade now, but he hasn't really been able to move to anything else, especially now that we're getting towards the latter stages. The buyback is also important. The buyback is also expensive as well. Like, looking at Somnus, he doesn't have buyback, but he has 4.3k gold. And you're like, okay, he's still waiting for that overwhelming blink. Still waiting for those extra bits of something here. But this game's just petering out to a bit of a stop because a bit of a halt, not a stomp. Because Boom, they know that they're in the lead. They know that they've got kind of stranglehold of this game, but they also know that they can't really take map control back, right? Because if they start to move out as 5 like they need to do, there could be scenarios here where RNG get a free tier 2 tower, free tier 3 tower. So we're in this awkward kind of game state where Boom know that they are the stronger team, but they also have to make sure that they stay together, but also make sure that their lane equilibrium is in a very good spot. They need to make sure that all their lanes are pushed out and make sure that they can't just get randomly ratted, because if Ghost is able to have, I think, even 10 seconds alone with a tower, if it gets wolf bitten, he's going to take a whole lane of racks, I think, in about 10 seconds. So it's going to be a very scary prospect. Yeah.
This game state that you're describing to me has happened at TI before. Also at TI 3, funnily enough. IG versus Team DK. Burning playing the Lone Druid, and Burning and the entirety of Team DK were behind by every available metric in the game, except Burning. Burning had everything. They're trying to rat the game out with this Lone Druid. They're about to lose the Roche. For the first time in a very long time, BetBoom Esports able to claim an objective on the map that they desire. But it doesn't come for free. Tier 3 tower will be removed for this. Tim's going to try and halt the push. Here goes in Yopaj, looking for Kaka, with the BKB being active, trying to run down this Tiny, make sure that he can kill him. Not going to be able to do so just yet, so they're going to maybe switch targets. Going north into the jungle here where X-Nova is. FBZ was forced into the BKB, but didn't want to rebound too far forward. The objective was to halt the push, and they have succeeded in that endeavor. But still, RNG creating yet another small little window down in this bottom lane, because now there's 2 exposed lanes of racks. If anything goes wrong, Fluke, anything goes wrong, racks are falling, game is ending, Boom tilting off the face of the planet. This is such a tense game. I love it.
Yeah, this is a very, very tense game, because you know that RNG, if they get a little bit of time with these bases, if it turns into a base race, this bear will chunk through these buildings. But also, Boom, they understand that they're ahead, right? Like, they're 7k ahead right now. They've got the Aegis out on their sniper. They've got, you know, this Swift Blink. He's building in towards an MPB now as well. Like, Boom are in a really, really good spot to be able to close this one out, but they just can't seem to get these team fights they want to, right? You saw the disengage that came in from RNG. They have the constant roars with the refreshes and the purges. And now it is finally time for Boom to be the ones that are aggressing on the map. They've got their lanes in a good position here. RNG don't want to show their faces too much, and maybe a little bit of tier 3 time here for Jackie. And this game is just getting to that late stage kind of scenario, right, where everybody, like the cores are all 6 slotted. You can't really think of any more items that they're going to be able to get. Tier 5 items are probably going to be able to crack this game open, and all it takes is getting like 1 pick, right? Like, if Ghost is able to like randomly pick off like Yopaj here, if they're able to catch out Jackie lacking, or even some of the supports here for Boom, that just gives RNG an opening. They start to take down these buildings. They take down the final tier 2 tower. Ghost is going to be able to cut this crit wave in the mid lane as well. And then if he just even touches a tower, I feel like it's going to fall over. And it's just hard for Boom to deal with, right? Because this is a conventional game. We'd just say, okay, Boom, you guys are ahead. You guys are sitting in towards these tier 3 towers. We're able to take it down. But just, it's Rat City. And look what Ghost is doing again. The bear's going in towards mid. He's going to be able to have free time with it. It does have no backdoor protection. He's going to be able to get it down. This is a free lane of racks. It's actually free. It's actually
Rack
free.
City, bitch! Go down bottom and do the same thing. Ghost is out here. Remember, his bear's a BKB. Bear, Savage Roll. He's actually going to kill this. They try to kill him with Unleash.
He just committed.
Who cares, dude? Bear's going to die, but who the hell cares? There we go. 2 lanes of racks. And also, while this is happening, look top lane. Chalice has been constantly keeping this lane pushed in as well with creep wave after creep wave after creep wave to the degree that the reason they couldn't go high ground, Yopaj had to come back and deal with this. And Yopaj is their primary initiator right now. Even though FBZ can bound forward, Yopaj is their fight winner. So as a result, they've now lost 2 lanes of racks. They know that if this bear ever sniffs this direction again, it's going to turn into 3 in a hurry. And unlike game 1 here, Fluke, in game 1, at the very least, Boom were the ones to get the first lane of racks. So they could at least be like, well, game state kind of sucks right now, but at least it's just an equivalence in terms of the super creeps. But now it's just RNG heads up. 2 lanes of super creeps ahead.
Yeah.
What a game.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we're getting ourselves a rat game in 2022. I thought Admiral Bulldog retired, but Ghost is doing his best impression this time around. I really think that Boom just kind of need to try and find a fight, right? Like they just need to force RNG to set their attentions towards to Boom. They need to try and get one of these team fights going, see if they can catch out. Yeah, if they catch out Kako and X-Nova, yeah, okay, that's whatever. But if they want to try and win this game, RNG need to kind of make the decision about, do we throw the bear bottom or do we have the bear here for a team fight? Because the bear is going to be strong in a team fight, right? Like, it's a pretty strong bear. But you always constantly need to be thinking about the fact of, do I spend my time split pushing? Do I spend my time trying to hold the bear for a team fight? And it looks like RNG have won the kind of arm wrestle right now, where Ghost is able to come out on top with a little bit of this scissors, paper, rock, where he was doing the split pushing, and now Boom had to respond to him, and they get to move out onto the map, 5-man smoke as well. This is so tense here, Sneer. We're 4 minutes away from tier 5 items. Lane of Rax has already gone down for Boom. Man, it's going to be a heartbreaker. For whoever loses, it's going to be an absolute heartbreaker.
Yeah. Sniper also about to lose out on the Aegis, so Jackie and the crew might not feel as safe moving up on the high ground without it. And there it goes.
10,000 gold.
It's burnt. But what do you spend this on, right? He wants the MKB, but he is completely 6-slotted. He'll have to, like, BKB, swap it out with the MKB mid-fight. It's not great, and because that also means that you have so much time that you effectively don't have MKB, and it's just like a waste of gold. Jump in, they found Tim's, but at the same time, it's Somnus that's been caught out by FBZ. They really want to run down this left track, but they found Jackie. Ghost is on top of him, but he has Satanic, but there is no Aegis. Nullifier will connect onto him as his BKB is about to expire. Kaka trying to help them out here. They are running out of life on the Sniper. And they have enough damage from the side of RNG. Somnus dragged away some heroes. He was the distraction here, Fluke. They thought that they were killing Leshrak. Meantime, they were just using him as the greatest red herring of all time. RNG win a fight for the first time in I don't even remember how long. And we know what that means. The push is coming. Ghost and the Bear want to beat down on this range racks in this bottom lane.
He's going to 2-hit the racks, man. Like, he's just going to walk in, he's going to clap it, and that's going to be all she wrote. Ghost is still being oh so careful with the bear. Look at how much damage!
5 hits.
Yopaj actually denied it. Yopaj actually denied the rage racks as well, and they've already cleared out the middle lane. Snare, like, man, what a heartbreaker. Jackie, the one time Jackie is in a bad position, he gets Sinister Gaze coming in from X-Nova, and then it's just Bear City. The Bear's out directly on top of his head. This tier 3 tower is the last remaining bastion. Maybe RNG might get repelled here.
They do end up losing the Spirit Bear. Kaka also in a little bit of danger here. They don't have vision of him, but Yopaj is right next to him with the Flame Guard, so it'll burn him to death regardless. And he drops the gem. Tims will be very happy for this. He's like, hey, now I have 2 eyes. Thanks, fam. Double gems are up. They have buybacks, though, on both of the heroes currently in the grave for RNG. And unfortunately, all this really did for BetBoom Esports is buy them enough time for the Sniper to respawn. It doesn't get them anywhere on the map. No. Fine, bro. Oh, no. The cheese. No. How are you supposed to deal with this? No. Well, that's Megas. That's how you get them. I should have told PGL before we started working that I'm lactose intolerant. Plays like this should be illegal. Yet here we are. Racks. So, let me just get this straight, Fluke, right? RNG, just to refresh my memory, they got Megas without having to commit a single fight. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Alright,
cool. Basically.
Cool. Cool.
Just they did the old bear strat, you know. Sometimes you walk in, you 5-shot racks, and you feel pretty good about it. But Oh, I talked about this one, feeling like a bit of a heartbreaker for whoever loses. It's a dirty way to win, but Stare, it's TI. I don't think there's any rules here. There's no rules. You kind of you got to win Dota the way you got to win Dota. Oh, it's so dirty the way that RNG is doing this, but I love it. I love the way that they're just picking Boom apart, and now it's to a point where, like, you kind of just have to go. I think if you're Boom, like, you just have to commit now, because like you've been megged, and if there is ever a time for a bear to base race you, he's gonna do it. So yeah. RNG are in a really good spot right now. The Boom fighting for the live seat. 60 minutes though, Snare. We can go get some tier 5 items.
Let's see who gets what. We almost also have level 20 for X Nova, so that means even stronger and more duration on the Frost Shield. Yay. Becomes harder to make this push happen. Look at Jackie. He feels so impotent, man. You have like 400 damage but you can't do anything. He gets tossed back in. This is just to waste his BKB. Now he has to wait for BKB. And they have to go home. They have to come back. Bear's here. Look where Ghost is. Bear's coming through. It's got another BKB. Ghost also has a resummon and a refresher. They're going for the jugular right now. Okay, they all come back. They all come back. Buybacks are forced. Jackie will be able to get this damage out onto Ghost. So Ghost is gone. He bought out for a refresher. How much short is he? 1,000 gold short of buyback? Oh my god. And because he has no buyback, they don't have a bear to kill this Roche with. Okay, does Chalice have an army? He does. Fluke, so can they, if they knew he didn't have buyback.
Oh, if they knew, we saw Snare, you would be running down middle right now. If you're a Boom fan, you are saying go, go, go. You need to push down this lane of Rax. Ghost is probably holding his breath right now because this is, oh my god, this game is so spicy and weird, man. I told you it was gonna get weird. Oh. And now they've got double cheese on Kaka. They have an Aegis on Somnus, who does also have his own buyback. So even if he does die twice, that's a-okay. All right. Who's going to get the tier 6 items? Chalice is the one that's looking towards it right now. What if somebody buys... Oh, Tim's, he lost his Aeon Disc. That's not good. If somebody buys a Midas right now, you can guarantee tier 5 items. Just put that one out there.
All right, who's got the gold to splurge on the Midas? Sniper, bro, buy something, my G. Yeah, Jackie. Buy some Midases for the community, OG. Oh, snap. There we go. There's the first one. A young Stagey. This could help. I mean, armor reduction has been a major factor of them not being able to go up the high ground. Now that they don't have to worry as much about Frost Shield. So this is definitely going to help. What else is there? Oh my god, do you see what they just got? Book of Shadows. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we're talking, baby.
Not bad, not bad.
You use this. This is certainly for the Spirit Bear, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think you just dump that on the Spirit Bear. That gives you 5 seconds of invulnerability. We don't have to deal with that bear as well. Kind of interesting combination as well. Ghost has a Refresher Orb and the Refresher Shard. I'm not quite sure if he's read the patch notes, but they will share a cooldown. So we can't have like 3 bears in a team fight or 4 bears in a team fight if he plays his cooldowns right. So, oh man, this is spooky and weird. So RNG, they don't have any of their neutrals, right? No, they don't.
No, not yet. No.
Not yet. So
Somnus can afford a Midas though, if you wanted to.
So you get 1 Midas use. It's so careful the way that they have to play now, right? Because RNG know that they can't just kind of face rush in towards the base. Especially now that the glyph is back up for Boom. What does the net worth look like? Oh my god, no. Look at this. Look at this wacky little graph.
The network graph is beautiful, honestly. I love that. What I love to me is that point in the game where they have a massive spike in gold in favor of Boom, but a massive spike in win probability in favor of RNG. Speaking of RNG, did you see the items that they just picked up, man? You're not going to like this. So they got themselves an Apex, which is a pretty big deal. So they got themselves an Apex and a Seer Stone so far. So the Seer Stone, of course, is going to be occupied by the Lich. It's going to be spelled from very far away. Chain Frost and Sinister. Look at the Sinister Gaze radius. Are you freaking kidding me? Sinister Gaze should not have a radius this wide.
Oh my god. It's literally across the map. X-Nova is going to be sitting in the next series. The Kaka's the one that picked up the Apex, so it's not, you know, the end of the world that they got themselves an Apex. I think, like, right now, like, what's the biggest one?
Look what they got. Click on Lycan. Click on Chalice. And click on his backpack. Literally the worst thing for us to be giving. They gave him a Book of Shadows as well. Yep. So
Okay.
you can like avoid anything and just force the push with summons. This is so toxic, honestly. I feel like they should give Ghost the Book of Shadows though, just so he can just stand there untargetable while the bear just chomps everything.
They have the Arcanist armor, so that's a big one here for Ghost. I'd imagine it's probably going to be on the bear. Where is the bear? No, still the Trickster's close, so maybe Somnus is the one that picks up the Arcanist armor. Yeah, so he's the one that has found the Arcanist armor here that has the reflection. Especially because right now Jackie is doing a boatload of damage.
No, Jackie's gonna die. Jackie, oh, what?
Oh. Oh. It's spicy. It's definitely getting spicy. I think at this point, I think you kind of just need a rapier. I think someone needs to buy a rapier. I think Yopaj, what does he get rid of? Maybe you just get rid of your Kaya Sanj, maybe the Bits of Travel 2 for a rapier. And you just kind of play on the edge of the fights with these Sleight of Fists. Yeah, so it is Arcanist armor that's going to be on the Sun Bear as well. So this is where it starts getting awkward, because we're at this point where it's 65 minutes, you're playing up against a sniper who's able to permanently hold their stuff. They're chunking through this bear. Oh, they got Jackie. Bear's dead. X-Nova. The Bear's on the T4s. He's on the Ancient. Oh, Book of Shadows. The bear. Oh my god. Kill the big Sato.
Is under attack.
Oh my god.
Gold for me.
Yeah, he's going to have another bear in about 60 seconds as well. I'm surprised that he's... Maybe somebody might be able to confirm this for me, but they're supposed to share a cooldown, right? Refresher and Refresher Orb?
I believe so, yeah.
To imbalance.
So why is his other Refresher not on cooldown when he used the Refresher Shard to summon his second bear?
When did he refresh it?
Well, he had the Refresher Shard and the Refresher Orb on Ghost. He had both in that last team fight, and when he lost his first bear, he refreshed for his second bear. Unless I'm like tripping Omega Balls right now, it's 67 minutes into this game, so I could have lost track of it. But I do feel like that he should be sharing a cooldown. I can't see it anywhere else.
It should be. Alright, we need to download the replay and check this out. Bottom, Skem in danger. Somnus able to bring him down. And Somnus and the crew, will they get out is the question. Yopaj jumping after them. BKB at the ready. They really want to try and get the kill out of Somnus. He's going to BKB TP out. Now X-Nova might be the one in a little bit of danger. The base
Pay attention to the
is where
base.
things are really important. They need to kill the bear. Every single fight they take outside of the base is just to buy time and space for the bear to go and rat behind them. Ghost is somewhat nearby. Tries to get the fear off, but they are 100% going to kill this bear. There is no resummon for another 80 seconds unless he pops the Refresher Orb. But nonetheless, how much time has Boom Esports actually just spent corralled inside their base?
I think at this point, like, maybe it's like getting closer to like 20 minutes of them like literally just sitting inside their own base. It's been Megas for roughly about 10, 15 minutes so far. I think this is definitely getting to Rapier territory. I think Jackie, throw all caution to the wind, just get yourself a Rapier, brother, and hopefully you're able to win the game, because I don't think they're able to actually deal with the sniper just yet. like they aren't actually able to get on top of him and really kind of deal with him, or you're probably to the bottom side of the map. They want to see if they can kill the Ember.
They'll try for it. They have him with the Sinister Gaze. Do they have the lockdown necessary? Indeed they do. He has buyback though. Will almost certainly be forced to commit it here. I don't think RNG will be surprised by the fact that he has buyback. Scammer's already bought back, so he needed to TP out, otherwise he would die back. 69 minutes in here, Fluke. We are still going. Boom is still so strong with Jackie that they're holding this high ground. He needs a rapier. He needs it soon. Not going to be able to get it, though. It's just so hard as well to travel outside of the base to try and pick up said rapier. Here we go.
Yeah, I think they need to try and win the next fight and then see if they can get themselves a rapier. They do have the sidekick provides BKB now as well from FBC, so at least going to have something. BKB's galore.
Oh no, BKB's galore, but they're not about trying to fight here. They really just want the base. Yopaj trying to lock down Ghost Bear. The Bear is going for this. The Cliff is going to be coming out to buy space and time, but the Bear is still alive. The Bear is still going. Chalice is also beating down on the racks. They kill Scambelu, and they are looking for the Ancient, but they don't have the damage. They've killed the Bear now. Chalice slowly but surely trying to do it. Look at the Chain Frost though, bouncing to everywhere. Somnus as well with the triple kill coming out of the left rack. Somehow, someway, RNG get the comeback. 70 minutes in. Oh my fucking god, what a game coming in from them.
What even happened? It just turned into everybody just saying the Ancient is the only way we win this game. They deleted the first Bear, the second Bear came in, and they were kiting it around, but the Chain Frost from X Nova, I think it did like 20,000 damage or something ridiculous at the end of that. That was redonkulous, the amount of damage that Chain Frost did, but holy shit, like what is this group stages, man? It's a 70-minute banger between RNG and Boom. Heartbreaker for Boom. My heart does go out to the boys that are over at Boom. What a unfortunate way to go out here in your group stages. Obviously, they're not at the end of the road just yet, but RNG, man. I haven't seen running like that for years. 4 years from a team to be able to hold out and do what they just did there.
Wow.
Yeah. I need somebody else smarter than me to be able to break this game down for me, brother.
Fortunately, we'll probably have the panel coming soon, but that replay we just saw, right? And even some of these fights here, we were talking about how, well, RNG are kind of in a dire situation. They're starting to run out of ways to be able to quickly close out the game. Jackie has such good positioning, super far back in the fights, and all he has to do is stand his ground, stay there. Even in this replay we're going to be witnessing now, after they were able to kill FBZ eventually, Ghost is like, well, we have to try and deal with Jackie, but Jackie stays alive for so long, chomps through these bears. He gets ridiculously strong in this game. Maybe we could argue about what would have happened if he actually picked up the Divine Rapier in this game for Jackie, but nonetheless, every single time they were able to catch him in the latter points of this game, they transitioned that into damage on buildings, and they did it as fast as humanly possible. The building... Okay, I want you to just take a guess for me, Fluke. How much building damage did Ghost do this game on the Lone Druid?
He took down like 2 whole lanes of racks by himself. Like 40k?
No, not that high. Only a mere 29,000 damage onto these buildings, but we see this last fight. They were focusing on this bear so much. They commit the Abyssal Blade onto it. They just want to kill this bear at all costs necessary. Unfortunately, it's one of these situations where we get to the stage of the game where we were spending so much time with the bear being the thing in play, right? Where is the bear? We have to play around the Spirit Bear. That by the time you get to this very last fight, you sort of forget that, wait, there's 5 other heroes around this bear that we have to deal with. We have to worry about these Chain Frosts. We have to worry about these Avalanches. We have to worry about their bashes, their BKB timings. And at that point, it's like, well, it's too difficult.